Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you so much for joining me for another episode of Bam Woman Magazine. But this time we have set aside a magazine specifically for the guys, and it is called Bam Guy Magazine. And we have some amazing guys with us for this special edition. And I have one here with me today, Mr. Anthony Gray.
Yes,
Introduce
sir.
yourself, sir, and let the world know who you are and what you do.
Well, first of all, my name is Anthony Gray. I'm 41 years. I was going to say 41. I'm 42. Quit lying. Um, um, see here. I've been doing plastic extrusion for 17 years.
Wow.
Uh, I finally went back to school and finished school after leaving for 10 years and finally went back and got my degree. Um, that's like I said. So I've had so many avenues, and I've
Hmm.
come to that conclusion that being in that type of field is not that's not my cup of tea. It's just something I've been content with
Yeah.
for so many years. So that
Yeah.
was that's my main reason for going back to school. But that said, I've been let me go back to what I was talking about. Uh I have two children. One is 17, my son Jalen. My daughter, she's 13. My wife Chanel. We've been married for 18 years. And
Wow.
yeah, I know. And people say, "How you guys been married for so long?" We started when we were young, so I
Yeah.
mean, just God has blessed us to actually still be together after being, getting married young and
Yes.
watching our kids grow up together. So, but like I said,
Yes.
it's like as you grow up, you have it's so many curves and
Hmm.
hurdles that you hop over. So you just take them as you go,
Absolutely.
and you learn from every last one of them. So.
Absolutely. So, what is plastic exclusion? What is that? I've never heard of
Plastic
that.
plastic extrusion. All right. Basically, long story short, plastic extrusion is hot plastic. It comes out, it forms, and it cools off. Just say you got
Hmm.
like a milk jug. But basically, what I do is I do blow film. Blow film is basically like
Okay.
your normal, real thin film. It comes out.
Hmm.
It's basically like if you would pick a trash bag up, and we do
Hmm.
stuff like that. But basically, we make the film, we send them over to our printing department. Our printing department puts the labels on them, and then
Hmm.
they send them over to the converting, which actually goes into a bag. So
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
it's like if whenever COVID hit, we didn't stop. It was just basically people needed carry out, so gotta have
Right.
carry out. Yeah,
Oh my
so
goodness. Okay.
right,
Well, okay, let's shift gears a little bit. So
right.
you are a football coach
Yes,
and
ma'am.
you spent like pretty much the majority of your life playing
Yes,
football, being around
yes,
football. Let's talk
yes.
about that. Like
All right.
what is let's talk about that. Let's talk about
Yeah,
football.
because that's the other side of it. Basically,
Huh?
while I'm doing all being in this plastic extrusion field and being an operator for so long, I've always had that in the back of my head. I want to play football. I want to be a coach because I've
Mhm.
never been. Everybody around me's always been content with where they're at, and I never
Mhm.
want to retire being in the factory world. I never want to retire. It's good
Right.
money. I do say
Mhm.
that, but that's not my ultimate goal. Is to be in that field. But
Right.
started off in seventh grade. My mom, she never did have the money to let us play, or we couldn't play because we didn't have the money to play little league. So seventh grade,
Mhm.
whenever coaches said, "Hey, you can come play for free," and just sign up for athletics, that was it. From seventh grade all the way until I finally tore my knee up around the age of 35, and
Oh wow.
yeah, and if I wouldn't have tore my knee up, I'd probably still be trying to play now. And
Yeah.
it's just the aspect of football, the discipline you get from it,
Yes.
the lessons you learn. I mean, it's so many things you can learn from one particular sport. But football has
Absolutely.
always been my I could say my avenue to just get out there and just let everything go. And you can do it legally. You got some
Absolutely.
pain, it's legal. You just do it the right way, and hey, next play, let's move, let's go.
Okay.
So
Yes, some legal side hustles. I'm telling you, they work.
yes.
So tell me a little bit about the camp that you did in Arkansas. Like, how did you
Okay,
come up
this
with that, and how did that go?
it actually, I ain't gonna take all credit for it because my wife, she kind of kicked me in the tail and was like, "Hey, you got talent. You need to go out here and get these kids
Mhm.
together." And I got some speed ladders and some hurdles, some cones.
Mhm.
And when I get off my 12-hour shift, I had about probably, I'm gonna say 8 to 9, maybe 10 kids. and they
Mhm.
actually at the time they were in the seventh grade, and it was called oh, I forgot the name of this camp, but it was back this was years ago back in actually when I was in Arkansas. But
Mhm.
we had, the camp was successful. I really liked just the fact of being around these kids, and it was basically just speed drills, working on hand placement. The guys that were
Mhm.
linemen just trying to incorporate all these movements into one player. Besides just
Mhm.
concentrating on one person, just actually working on their feet, the hands, the get off, strengthen the legs, anything possible for the movement of football. And
Right.
it's funny because these same guys that were in the seventh grade ended up they all stay together as in high school. So this
Mhm.
was a couple of three, 2 or 3, probably 2 or 3 years ago, and they actually were about to graduate, but they ended up winning state the same, all together.
Nice.
So, and that was awesome just to see that same group of guys that I had trained when they was in seventh
Right.
grade all end up winning state championships. So that was cool right there. That was a
Absolutely.
good experience. But I've always loved to do stuff like that because it's so to
Mhm.
me it's second nature. It's like to me it's easy to put a workout together. I mean, I don't have to think about it.
Right. Yeah.
You just start going. But I've always wanted to be I even at one point was a trainer, and I had
Mhm.
about 6 7 people, but I didn't have
Mhm.
time to do it. I'd get off
Yeah.
work and I'd try. I didn't have time for myself to try to train, so I had to drop that.
Yeah.
But I mean, I can't. I get stuff like I get sidetracked trying to do stuff like that because I forget it. What else I'm supposed to be doing? And there's so many things,
Right. Right.
so many things you can do. But I have to always concentrate on one thing. But that's hard. Even that's
True.
hard to do, to concentrate on
True.
one particular. When you got talent like that, to just bless people with your knowledge. Because I don't like the whole secrets. Like if somebody wants, if I can give
Yes.
tips, if I can give tips, I'm gonna give a tip. I mean, there's no reason for me to hold back and say, hey, I'm gonna keep this for myself. No, I don't believe in that. I mean,
Right.
I like to just say it. I'm around coaching kids. I want to teach them when they're in like the seventh or eighth grade. That way, by the time they get to the 10th grade, they already learned it. Just simple,
Absolutely.
just simple stuff.
Absolutely.
So
So
that's
what
life.
type
Period.
of yeah, what type of legacy do you want to leave for your children to
Just
take
want
with them when you leave this earth?
Well, just letting them know, just with them actually seeing me and my wife, especially go back to school after so many years. Let them know,
Yeah.
that it's never too late. It's gonna be so many avenues that you're gonna so many walls you're gonna run into, so many
Right.
people that gonna so many barriers that will come towards you, and it's
Mhm.
your job. It's your job to overcome that. There's so many ways.
Right.
I didn't grow up with a father in the house, so I could have easily made that silly excuse. Oh, I can't do it. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
I can't. I hate that excuse. It's not. It's up to you to
Mhm.
overcome all of that. Let's just let them know,
Mhm.
hey, don't quit. Always keep going. I mean, some stuff is gonna happen, but you got to learn to keep your chin up and keep pushing
Right.
forward. So that's like I said, that's just
Absolutely.
life. Life ain't fair. I promise. When I got out of high school, I thought I didn't know when I got out of high school what type of road I was about to run into, but there's so many avenues and so many ups and downs that you'll run into, and it's
Mhm.
easy to tap. It's so easy to tap out, but man,
Yes.
it's so easy to tap out. But that ain't in
But
my
thank
nature.
goodness you didn't. You just kept
Yes, ma'am.
going.
I
You
had
kept
to.
going.
Right,
Oh
especially when
man.
you. I'm
Go
sorry,
ahead.
especially when you got kids. They really look up to you.
Yes.
They really
Absolutely.
do.
They're watching. They're definitely watching you.
Right.
So, with you being a dad, with you being a husband, and, not only a coworker and a football player, but just all of these things in your life that you do, how do you balance it all?
Um, I, I ain't gonna say I got a schedule, but you
Hmm.
organize. Being organized and try to not do the same thing, but try to stay on the same schedule. Um,
Right.
like I said, going back to school, I even like obtaining my criminal justice degree.
Hmm.
I've even thought about going into law enforcement, but
Okay.
it's so easy to do that. I've always wanted to. I used to want to be a police officer, but I found
Uh-huh.
out how much paper. I found out too much how much paperwork they got. It's not.
Yeah.
I'm not. I'm not really interested in all that paperwork. And
Yeah.
then yeah, for one thing. But that's always been a passion of mine too. But I would love to be a probation officer where I could actually
Mhm.
sit down And because I've been there, I know I've been on the other side of that desk getting in trouble, and
Mm-hmm.
I had one particular probation officer I had. He believed in me, and this was
Mm-hmm.
years ago, and he just kept believing in me, and he was like, "Hey, just come here, take care of your business," and then before you know it, that was it. But I've always wanted
Mm-hmm.
to do that, and especially growing up around people like that, I can relate to them. That's why some of my players can relate to me because I know I've been there. They ain't nothing that they
Right.
haven't done that I didn't experience. So with being a probation
Right.
officer, I would love to just sit on the other side of that desk and help other people,
Mm-hmm.
possibly get out of trouble and let them know, hey, this is a mistake you made. You can there's second chances and you can keep going. But like I said, that's just life, and life is going.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so many avenues you can take. But um, ultimately, it's like I said, scheduling. That's I just try to stay on the same schedule. It's hard to do,
Yeah.
but especially working nights. I mean, I try to
Oh, you
get it.
work nights. Ah,
Oh yeah, I'm a
man.
graveyard. I'm a graveyard. Yeah, graveyard.
Oh
We
my
just yeah,
goodness.
and that's that. You have to have your body adjusted to that because
Oh yeah.
I mean, working 12s and working at night, and then you get off at say 7 o'clock in the morning, and then you got football
Mm-hmm.
practice at 1 o'clock. It's just,
Mm-hmm.
and then I try to go work out after I get off for an hour, and then go home and go to sleep, and then hop back up and eventually try to go back to foot and then go to football practice. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's just a schedule. I'm not gonna say I'm used to it, but I'm your body adjusts to it. I mean, I'm not
Yeah.
used to it. My body just adjusts to it. So yes, I've been
Gotcha.
working nights for so long. It's just your body adjusts to it.
Gotcha.
It's not.
Okay.
Yeah, that's about it.
Okay. Well, then, hey, that's what's up. Listen, you're a working man, you're a husband,
Oh
you're a
yeah,
dad, you just
yeah.
all around. Just all around. You do it all. So, just to kind of shift gears a little bit, what are some things that you would like to change? I know you said that you wanted to be like a probation officer or someone
Yes.
that can kind of change the mindset and help generation kind of get on track. And I commend you on that because I feel like this generation
Oh,
does
this
need the
generation is
most
different.
help. Oh
This
my gosh,
generation
they
different.
are
This
so
generation,
different. So,
they
what
yeah.
would you do? Just kind of seeing how these kids maneuver and how they move. What would you change, or what would you try to tell them to help them get on the right track?
Now, first of all, they gotta want to. You can tell. You can
That part.
tell anybody. I can sit down. Just say I'm at a probation office and I got a client, or I'm just speaking to anybody in general.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man, you need to stay out of trouble, and they can give you the story out the. It can sound so good. They could put sugar all over it, but until they
Mm-hmm.
go out and hang out with the same people, they got to change their ways. It's up to them. I mean,
Right.
they can want to, but they may feel like, hey, I got to hang around this particular group of people to feel cool. But it's
Right.
ultimately in the end, it's everybody got their own mind, and you have to make your own decisions. So, which trying to
Mm-hmm.
change them,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can just do what you can and mentor them and tell them. But like I said, when they're out there by themselves and they got to make their own decisions, that's when it count. So
Yeah.
it's very hard to change, especially this generation is my generation was different. See, I graduated in '97, and the generation before me,
Uh-huh.
I mean, they were kind of pretty laid back, but now this generation now it's a definitely
It's
a
a
new
whole
generation.
different a whole different breed. Like
Yeah,
even
you
my
can say that
generation,
again.
I graduated in '02. So it
Okay,
was like, we had our rowdy moments, but we
right,
were kind
right,
of we had the best of both worlds, I'll say.
right. Hmm.
But these kids nowadays, it's just
They different,
like, where did
right?
y'all come from?
A whole generation. I mean, and especially with so many
Man.
smartphones now, everybody smartphones and
Yes.
so many
Everybody's
electronics to deal
technical.
with. Right,
Yes,
right, right.
absolutely. So,
So,
do you feel like the technology has improved us or has it made us lazy?
oh, definitely lazy.
I
Definitely
think so
lazy.
too. I think so too.
Don't get me started on that part. Definitely lazy. Definitely. I
I
can
mean, it's
say
just
that.
so much is at your fingertips. It's like,
Hmm.
I don't know if you remember this, you might, but I had to research things through the encyclopedia and,
Oh
reading
yeah,
books and,
right, right.
doing all this. But we didn't have Google. We didn't have, we
No,
didn't have
no,
Siri back
no.
then. Oh
We
my
had
God, I sound
dictionaries.
like
Yeah.
oh, Lord have mercy.
No, no, because we had to use dictionaries. We had to use all of that. We had to use all of
Yes,
that stuff. So I mean,
it's
now you
it's
just
crazy.
right. Now you can go to the internet and find anything. But definitely, it's just
Facts.
a real laid back generation where
Hmm.
it's everything's online, and it could take up it takes up too much if you're trying to go somewhere and or train for something. It takes up so much time for you know it
Hmm.
in air conditioning all day. So I mean,
Right.
I didn't. My generation was way different. We didn't get to grow up in the air conditioning like that, and
We
it's
was outside.
right, right. Like they made us,
Yes.
and yeah, and
We
they
had to
blocked
go
it. Yeah,
outside. Y'all go outside and
right.
play. Don't come
And
back
then
in till the lights come on outside.
exactly, and then we had the water hose was like that's what we had to drink from.
Yes.
So we
Oh
didn't yeah,
man.
yeah,
They
yeah.
will not understand. These kids
No,
will
no.
never
I can still
understand.
taste that. I can still taste that water out that water hose. It's that taste never leave your mouth.
Oh man. Okay, so before we go, I always have my guys or my women give us a nugget. And it's anything that you would want to share, any type of advice about anything, about life, about entrepreneurship, about whatever it is, whatever advice that you want to give to our viewers. What nugget would you give to someone who is wanting to, get into football or, be to get married or to have kids or be a
Oh
parent or
wow,
just
that's like a whole
whatever.
nother show right
You
there.
know,
That is a whole nother show.
give me a
Oh man.
nugget.
Oh wow. Let me see here. Career wise, if anybody is just, I started off. I mean, I was going downhill, and I just started bouncing back slowly. Each year, I bounced back slowly. Um, I worked my way up, and before I know it, like I said, I started off, and uh, I transferred. I
Mhm.
transferred, got my grades back up. I remember I had to go back home. I went back to school, transferred, or went to school, got my grades up, and basically I just, like I said, chipped away slowly. It is
Mhm.
never. That's just like anybody sees me out, or they'll ask me, "What am I doing for his training?" I said, "It's not gonna happen overnight. This stuff took years." And people, like I said, people
Yeah.
they'll see the outside of it, but they don't know what it took to get there to that point.
Right.
I mean, they see all the good part, but it's just perseverance and
Mhm.
knowing that you're gonna run into some obstacles. And there's a picture I always look at. It's success, and what people think success is like they think it's a straight line, but then
Mhm.
what it really is that ribbon that starts getting all messed up, and you got to take it apart.
Yes.
And that's
That's
what
good.
life is. Life is like that big ribbon that it goes straight for a little bit, and then all of a
Mhm.
sudden it gets tangled up, and then it starts straightening out again. I mean,
Mhm.
if you can get through that little raggly part that you got to twist out and straighten out, it'll get
Mhm.
better. And once you make that same mistake, or you'll know your mindset will be like, okay, this has happened to me before. I know how to get out of this,
Right.
and don't let that stop you from anything that you're trying to pursue in life. I mean,
Absolutely.
it's yeah. I mean, everybody ain't built for it, but you can be. So just
That's
take it
good.
as it comes to you. Just okay, take this, and you know God ain't finna put nothing that you can't bear. I
That's
mean,
it.
swing, keep swinging, and before you know it, you're above water again, and
Mhm.
you can smile about it, laugh about it, and think about the next time it happens, you know how to react to it. Like everything's
That's
got a
awesome.
reaction. You react to all of this. So, I
Mhm.
mean, if I can give anybody a nugget, it'd be just keep your head up. You run into a wall, keep your head up. Stuff
Yeah.
is gonna happen. That's just life. Life ain't supposed to be fair. So
Yeah. That's what's up. Ah, I love it. This was great. Thank you, Mr. Gray. I
you are
appreciate you
welcome.
Tell
Thank
your
you.
wife thank you so much for
I
letting us
will.
use you for just a little bit of time.
She the social butterfly. She the social one.
Yes,
I'm the more.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Listen, shout out to Chanel Photography. Y'all look her up, Chanel Gray. She's absolutely phenomenal. The girl
Yeah,
can
she
she
is.
can snap a picture. Let me tell you.
Yeah, she can. I'll be watching. I'll try to take tips.
I love it. Well, y'all are absolutely amazing, and
Thank
Bam
you.
Woman and Bam Guy. I'm forever indebted to you guys. So thank you so much for your time. And
Thank
we
you very much.
appreciate you. You make
All
sure
right.
you share this with everybody that you possibly can.
All right. I got
Tell
you.
everybody that you're going to be in the magazine and it is going
All
to
right.
be launching on May 22nd. Y'all
Okay.
be, our lunch party is going to be May 22nd at 3
Right.
p.m. and we are
Right.
so excited about it. So y'all make sure y'all tune in. It's going
Right.
to be great. Alrighty, sir. Well, I won't hold you any longer. Thank you so much for your time. I
Yes.
appreciate
Thank you for the
you.
opportunity. Thank you.
Absolutely. And God bless. Have a
You
good
too.
one.
You too. Thank you.